And whatever you do, don't let it fall into the wrong hands.
Okay, cool. So, you guys some of you had just come to the aid of a peasant whose husband had been wrongfully convicted of a theft.
And they've just caught up to us, haven't they?
Yes, you guys intervened.
And they told us everything.
Yeah, because he was well versed in the sort of political spectrum of the city.
It's coming back to me.
And you intervened to try to prevent the sort of dinosaur race from resulting in this man's death. So you sort of like sabotaged some of the other dinosaurs and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
But there was also the sort of local police force was watching. And unfortunately, Wood was spotted.
Not subtle with the magic, Wood. He isn't.
And then through a series of almost negotiations and near escapes, eventually got taken by this authority figure that you guys still don't know the sort of like official name for this group of policing individuals, but it turned out the policing individual was a less than 100% legit guy and took you to this sort of black market, shady, secret entrance place because he noticed Wood could transform into animals after one of his failed escapes.
You think turning into a mouse would have gotten you in a way, but it didn't.
It got you out of his clutches, but then I think you needed to roll like a escape stealthily check or something, and it just fell apart. Yeah, it was funny though. And then he took you to this place to be sold, basically as a animal curiosity, and I think I can't remember exactly what happened. I think that's when the mouse escape, turning into a mouse, did work in his like antechamber, and then you sort of got. I think the bodyguard turned him away or something because you guys got recaptured and taken to the actual police station this time.
Yeah.
Yes. And then turning into a mouse did work.
He turns into a spider.
Yeah, he was a spider.
Oh, God.
And then eventually he wasn't paying much attention to his holding cell, and then you escaped. And then you met up with the person who you intervened on his behalf, and he's the one that gave you all this information. So, you're standing in that place that I described just before.
Great. Ziggurat.
Yeah, you're in this this is a huge crowded market with like bamboo terraces, and it seems like not the wealthy part of the city. You're kind of just outside these big walls that separate the kind of like inner city. And you've just gratefully been received by this guy, and they sort of thank you, and they look like they're about to walk away.
You're welcome, dude.
Thank you, I don't know what I would have done. I mean, I'm not that fast at running.
You're not that bright either.
He laughs, but then you see in his eyes this sort of haunted look. Like he came close to death.
Wood, I don't know about you, but I've used up most of my spell points.
Yeah, I was just looking for an eraser so I could take a rest.
Yeah, I want to rest too.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm up for a rest. Can we rest here?
Who's got an eraser?
I don't know. To be honest with you.
I went upstairs, but too far away.
I haven't used an eraser in a long time.
That's alright, we'll just have to remember that we're having a rest.
Okay.
Can
So
we rest here?
you look around. You're in the middle of the street at the moment, so you could attempt to rest on the street, but it's also like midday, 2 p.m. You're in early afternoon stage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we go to your house and rest in your bed?
Oh yes, I remember you tried to like convince him. He's like, oh, of course, yes, please, come,
Right.
come, and
Woohoo!
he leads you sort of like down these like winding alleyways to a place just off from the main market, and it's a very small house that's on the bottom level of like 2 or 3 other flat-looking places.
What a beautiful house you have.
It's made of like this exposed clay, but bright colours everywhere.
So rustic.
Colourful. Right, don't disturb us for 8 hours.
And you basically pull up some floor, there's like a cot, there's like a woven wicker sort of couch thing, and you guys all take up various positions around this place.
Love
And he
it.
says, alright, I'm gonna go back to work, but you guys have a good time, bye. and then he pushes the like reeds that form his front door back, and you go to sleep.
Great.
Great.
And so
Does
now
anything happen?
you're,
Who wants to stand watch? Let's not stand watch.
No,
we're safe.
okay.
We're safe.
Yeah, we're
you
safe.
feel safe.
Yeah.
We don't
Middle
set a
of the
watch.
day. Listen, it's
You
just
don't
house.
need to rest, right?
No, I presume I'm fine.
Oh, she's
Maeve-
invincible.
Maeve can stand
Shouldn't.
watch.
If you want, yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're not going
I
to
can
gain
snoop out
anything,
his
you might as
house.
well.
Yeah,
why
sure.
not?
You would. Of course you
No, I
would.
wouldn't.
Would you like to
Against
roll
my
a
character.
snooping check?
Just see if there's anything obvious. I think.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I don't think my character would actually rifle through all of his things.
Okay.
Maybe there's like some helpful maps or something.
You look around, and it's sort of like a studio with a little like off bathroom section at the back. And in the kitchen area, you see a recipe for cornbread. But it's called like harbour bread, and it's got like this extra bit of like cumin in there, and you read the ingredients, and it seems like it'd be a pretty good recipe.
Wow. That's gluten free.
You also, you don't see any maps, but it's just sort of like homey touches. There's some like herbs in vases and things
No.
upside down. But yeah, nothing. This is a very humble home.
Okay.
Cool. So you guys rest, and you wake up.
Yes.
You have all your spells and health points and all those good things back.
Nice.
So 8 hours from
Has
then
our guy come
would
back?
have been, what would that be? That's like it's basically 10 p.m. at this point. And yes, they are back, and they're quietly like bustling around the kitchen, trying to like cook incredibly quietly because you guys are just sleeping on the ground.
Right.
Hello, welcome.
Yes. Oh, what a great sleep.
Welcome to consciousness.
Is that bread?
Actually, yes, it is. Did you see my recipe out here from before?
I was asleep.
Oh, nice. You have a good nose. This is cornbread or harbour bread, which is slightly spicier and much nicer.
It smells delicious.
Would you like some?
I thought you'd never ask.
Okay. They start chopping it up and like sliding it out on these little like bamboo plates for you.
It's great.
Yes. I think I'm not feeling very well, so I'll be eating any of the bread, thank you.
No fictional bread for you.
I eat my cornbread.
Okay, you eat it. It's
with
very nice.
signs of enjoyment.
It's very tasty. They've done a good job. Despite your rabbit impression, they still look very very grateful.
Most of it ended up in his mouth.
Right.
It's a good
Right,
effort.
we've got your notes. We've already interrogated them about the stuff. What should we do?
So do we don't have a clear mission or anything. We're just
Oh,
we're kind of trying to get to the bottom of what the
Sorry,
shady
so-
black market was.
Well, no. To recap further than the previous recap, you just found. Oh yeah. The reason you came here in the first place is because you sort of solved the problems at Orphea, and you spoke to some people, and they said that they remember hearing about, another city to the west, but they haven't visited. It's been a long time. And then you went and found the bridge, and that's when you crossed over to this city. And then you spoke to a bunch of people, like the guards outside the city, who said that people that have been previously brought back to life by magic are suddenly slipping back towards the grave. Like, the ability to come back seems to be no longer working, and people that die, even despite the best magicians, can't come back. Which is something that is obviously in this world very relied upon as just a normal thing. Right. So they suspect that some sort of a curse or some sort of a magical thing is happening, but a lot of people seem skeptical about that.
Cool. Well, we found out about the Wakanda spell leader. Something?
Yeah, well, one of the merchant leaders is a spell person, yes.
Okay.
Right. Seems like the right person to talk to.
So
About
what are the others? We've got the jewelry, poison,
poison.
spells.
Yeah.
Okay, so it could be.
Let's
I guess
ask
any of
her.
those rested, but I think spells is the place to start.
We could ask our friends where all these people are. Hello, friend.
Hello.
Where all these guild leaders, these noble people you've told us about?
Yeah,
Where do they live?
Well,
Can you give us a list?
it's actually quite close. It's actually quite close by. They're all basically in the same district. It's called the Golden Throne District, and it's sort of like a palace that serves as the meeting place for the merchant princes of Port Nyanzaru.
Oh wow.
And it's recognized as sort of the seat of the city's loose government.
How will we be received?
I
there?
want to put on sugars.
Well, I mean, you have to be pretty important to get a meeting with them. I would come bearing gold or a very good story.
Oh, we've got stories galore.
Okay.
That makes you seem important.
Ah, right. Well, we did kill that big monster thing.
Do you think there's a problem with going there at 10 p.m. in the evening? Or?
Typically, most of the regular business doesn't take place then. Again, it's all about your pull, your influence. The more influence you have, the more control you'll have over. You can get a meeting anytime. You can get a meeting never.
Who do we need to influence? And who can you introduce us to, lowly peasants? We appreciate your hospitality, but we need connections.
Well, I only know of these people. I don't know them personally.
Okay, well.
And Wood was actually taking notes the last time I told you about these people.
Yes.
Come on, Wood, what you got?
Literally, that's all I have. I know who they are.
Okay, well, let's
Wakanda.
why don't we go during normal business hours? What can we do in the night time? Why don't we just try and break in and rifle through their ship?
I think, why don't we go into town and go to some of the inns and see if there's any more gossip about
Okay.
people and what's been going on?
Yeah, where's the most gossipy inn in town? And remind us of your name, humble peasant.
My name is Azul.
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 Humble peasant. And I would appreciate not being called humble peasant.
It's
It's
sometimes that's.
reasonable.
The most gossipy tavern in town would be Emporo's Emporium.
Emporo Armani. Great, let's go there.
Well, could you remind us why you got sentenced to be killed by dinosaurs again? I forgot.
Oh, they thought that I had stolen some produce from the market, but they just found me near the scene. They had no evidence of me actually doing that.
Nice.
Oh.
Again, you see that like 1,000-yard stare, like staring into the jaws of death.
Tough stuff.
Oh.
He looks like he'll be messed up for a little while.
Are the authorities in this town very corrupt?
Well, they don't really need to be corrupt. They have absolute power. You know, whoever controls the money controls the city, the resources. I wouldn't know if they're corrupt, but they are scary. I'll say that.
Okay, let's go to the gossipy. Let's go to Emporio's Emporium.
Yeah.
Can you direct us there? Or do you want to come too? And we'll buy you a drink.
No, we'll have to go to sleep soon. We have to work by the harbour again tomorrow. But I appreciate the offer. The place that you want to go to is. Let me just double check.
You've got a helpful guide on the outside.
You want to go to the Grand Souk, which is just past the Golden Throne district that I talked about, where all the merchant princes hang out. So you want to go just past that, sort of south of there,
Okay.
and that's where you'll get to the Grand Souk. It's another market, but much nicer than the one just out here called Bamboo. It's you get more like jewels and things like that there.
Wonderful. Let's
Okay.
go to the ground.
Let's do it.
Okay, so you head out and you sort of follow his instructions. You go past this huge, the huge ziggurats and all the sort of bamboo cladding that you previously were amongst. Then you go into the city walls, and all the bright colors are like, even in the like dim light, it seems like you can see from the nearby city lights all the colors that are there, and enormous sort of like palaces. It seems like everywhere that of note is a palace of some sort. And then you go past that, south of that, to get to the Grand Souk. And even at night time, this place is thrumming with red light and spices and music and people dressed as like dinosaurs running around. And children that should definitely have been in bed by now, also up. So yeah, there's traders everywhere. You see taverns. Roll an investigation check to find the tavern in question.
Shit, where's my D20?
D20.
Go, you might have to do it.
Okay, which one's D20?
Come on, 20 times. Oh, that was mine.
Investigation, go. 13.
Plus your...
Plus my...
Investigation.
Honestly, I can't see my D20.
Yeah. 0, so you roll a 13.
Yeah.
Okay, you manage to see that there's a cluster of taverns sort of just a few hundred feet away from you, past a parade of like brightly coloured bears. And you see that seems like where the taverns are, but it's too far away to see. You'd have to go up there and figure it out.
Let's venture up there.
Mm-hmm.
Can we walk towards the cluster taverns?
You can. You walk towards them. You see that there's a couple that one is called like Losi's Hideaway, and one of them is called Naboli. But then you also see Emporo's Emporium is in the middle.
There we go, found it.
Into Emporo's Emporium.
Yeah.
Nice. You go in. This one is even louder than outside. You see that there's just a crowd of people at the sort of bar. It's all wood and bamboo and stuff like that. And you get the sense that this is a very crowded place, so it's hard to overhear people because there's just so much noise. So you see a lot of people like seated in little booths, having like quiet conversations amidst all the noise of the people at the bar.
I look around the bar. I'm looking for people who look distinctive or interesting in any way.
Okay. You see a very sort of like ostentatiously dressed individual who is standing there sort of regaling a group of people around him and sort of telling stories, and he's got a very tall hat on. He looks like an explorer/adventurer of sorts.
Okay, there's our mark, folks. Let's go make friends with this gentleman.
Yes.
He's our best talker.
Let's buy him a drink.
It's probably me. I'll go first. I walk up to him and tug on his jacket or whatever he's wearing.
Because you're small.
Oh, hello. Are you enjoying this story?
Enough of this story. It bores me.
Oh, how dare you! This is my journey to the south. I carved my way through ice lake after ice lake. How could you be bored by that?
I'm more interested in what's going on in this city. Do you have any stories about that?
Well, I mean, this city is alive. I mean, if you can speak to one of the merchant princes, they have a lot of interesting tales to tell, but I couldn't divulge them. Having their confidence, I couldn't betray that here. Now let me get back to my story.
I don't believe you're friends with any of the merchant princes. You're too busy carving out ice lakes. That's what you just told me. You're probably an ice lake farmer.
He laughs uproariously and says, now listen. And you see that he's got like a couple of swords and daggers around him. Is this the kind of trouble that needs to go outside?
Just a joke, my good sir. How about I buy you the finest boozy drink you could want after all that time in the ice fields?
Make a persuasion check. What the hell is that?
One alcohol, please.
Yeah, it's 11.
Okay, at 11. Okay, let's see. Okay, he says, yes, my good man, I too am deep in my cups, but I could use another one, please. I would like a vintner's ale, please.
Okay. I'm going to pass Wood some silver pieces.
Great.
Go get the round in!
Anyone else?
I'll continue the charm offensive.
Drinks? Anyone? Shots? Jaeger bombs?
You see a bunch of people, like a couple of halflings, a couple of tieflings, just around this guy listening to his story say, oh yeah, I'll have one of those too, and they copy him with these like wide-eyed, sort of like adoring looks.
No, it was around for everyone. It's just for immediate friends only.
No, I'll give you.
We're generous, not stupid.
I'll give you 7 silver pieces.
Great, that's enough for everyone.
Cool. All right, you go up to the bar. You wait for about 5 minutes, but when you get to the bar, sort of like burly woman that looks kind of part giant says to you, "What?"
Hello, beautiful woman. I buy a vintner's ale and what else I can get for 6 silver pieces?
No.
What a great bargain!
You could get 3 more vintner's ales.
Yeah, okay, that sounds good.
We'll take 6.
Are you there? You're trying to bargain with the
I feel
bartender?
like the bar, this is not a good bargaining
This is not what Strong said.
If you're trying to bargain with her, then you need to roll a persuasion check. But if you were making a different statement, then I need to understand what it is.
Okay, let's try and bargain with that.
Okay. Cool.
I'm still with the
I feel like Guru's being ripped off.
Yeah, probably.
Is this one? Yeah. What is mine? I got 22.
Oh wow. Okay, she says, well, I do like this one, and she starts like patting her eyelids at Wood. But I can't give 6 away. 5. No more than 5.
5 would be very generous, thank
Okay,
you.
you see she starts mixing this deep red wine that comes pouring out of this dark green bottle with like really dark brown ale, and mixing the two together with this like little spoon. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, Guru.
That's fine.
And then she gives them to you, and I won't describe the glasses any further.
That's great.
Good drinks. That sounds good.
It's the most bizarre situation to be in.
Yeah. Your fantasy drinks.
Well, we need.
Fantasy drinks are too much for my
We've got to
stomach.
try and get this guy on side. What am I going to say to him?
Let's compliment him.
Well, he's a bit of a dickhead, isn't he?
Perfect.
Okay,
He
yeah,
goes,
okay.
He
Stroke.
wants compliments, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's been happening? Has he been storyfying again?
Yes, he's gone back to his story and he was saying, after the 3rd ice lake, I thought, perhaps I need a boat. Cutting it with my bare hands will not suffice.
Wow, you can sail too.
No, you've got the drinks.
Sorry.
You've got to come back to the drinks.
Let's say you've arrived at this point
Okay,
with
alright.
that line, and he says, of course I can sail, my good man. I am Volo, a Volo's guide to everything.
Oh my God, Volo's Guide to Everything.
Oh, yeah, you should have said. I've read all of your books.
Okay. Have either of you guys heard of that book?
No.
No, roll deception checks for me. This is the funniest use of like checks.
13.
11.
Oh, hold on. 15.
15, okay. Give me a sec. He turns to you and he says, my good man, I will not be mocked. And then he turns to you and says, why, I'm so glad to hear it. Which was your favorite section?
The chapter about the ice lakes.
Ah, yes. The ice wolves that lived in the ice lakes, they were hairy. Well, frosty, but it was a tricky encounter. I'm really glad that you enjoyed that.
Wow.
I've actually dropped off a few autographed copies to the merchant princes. You're more than welcome to
Oh, wow.
acquire one for yourself.
Which merchant prince would that be?
Oh, well, you want to see Hakal. She's in charge of the sort of, how do I put it, literature of the city.
Great. Wow. Hakal sounds amazing. I'd love to have an autographed copy of this book. Is there any way that you could maybe introduce us so I get the right book?
Well, I wouldn't want you to get lost, and it would be tough for a person such as yourself to get a meeting with her. Yes, perhaps I will. But not this evening. They will be abed. On the morrow, I shall meet you at the Golden Throne.
On the morrow at 9 a.m. at the Golden Throne. That sounds great.
Well, better make it 9:30.
Okay, 9:30 it is.
Excellent. I will do the introductions myself.
Thank you, Volo. You're such a hero.
You're welcome. Now, what is your name, my good man?
My name is Wood. I like trees.
You do look like an earthy fellow. Well, do you have any nicer clothes that you could wear tomorrow?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Good, because you know I have a reputation to maintain.
Yes, of course.
Okay, good. And is this one coming? And he points suspiciously. I'm sorry, I've forgotten your character's name.
Scroungemore.
And he points suspiciously at Scroungemore.
Yes, my manservant Scroungemore will be coming.
Oh, that makes sense. His rough tongue did seem like one of the working classes.
Yes, it's so hard to find good help.
And he takes the glasses from you and says, excellent! Let me hand these around. You can have one, and you can have... And he just, like, takes over your round. And you, but you didn't laugh at the right section, so just you. And he gives it to one of his, like, minions.
Oh,
This is
what
an
a generous,
excellent-
generous man.
Excellent vintner's ale. You chose excellently.
Okay, let's go to sleep and meet this guy tomorrow. Unless we want to fuck around a
We've
bit
just
longer.
been asleep, so why don't we do some more sleeping?
We're kind of...
Yeah, but it's night time.
We
Oh, I guess
still-
the city is a hum. Alright, let's get out of here. Yeah? Or we
Alright.
can keep looking around.
Yeah, let's, I don't know. We're gonna have to, like... Are we just gonna be tired at 9:30?
No, it doesn't work like that.
Okay, cool.
Alright,
Yeah.
we'll say your goodbyes to Volo. Let's
Goodbye, Volo. We'll see you in the morning.
Let's wander around the pub.
Our friend Maeve will also be coming. Hope that's not a problem. Thanks.
Bye!
I look around and look for any more distinguished people. Or interesting people.
You see a person in a sort of like long, sort of grey robe. And she looks sort of out of place in this debauched tavern where she's just sitting quietly, drinking a very clear-looking ale, and she doesn't have anyone else with her.
And then I got here and was like, I forgot bang. The one thing that
Okay,
really
I go up to her
her
and say,
That is unfortunate. Yeah.
do you often come and sit here on your own with no company? What's the matter?
My friend, I am troubled.
Me too. Let's talk about it.
The leader of my temple has always been the solid guiding light of our order, but lately he seems he can't consult the guides like he used to. It's making me question my chosen apprenticeship, to be honest.
Tell me more about your apprenticeship.
Oh, sorry. I thought you recognized the robes. Are you from out of town?
Yeah, we're not from here.
Oh, I see.
I'm from another city.
I am part of Juma's order, and I am all about revealing the truth, and so is the order, obviously.
Wow.
We
Obviously.
seek to uncover the truth above all things, and obviously a head priest that is no longer able to consult the guides and reveal the truth makes me think that maybe I shouldn't even say it out loud.
Probably. But what a noble pursuit. You truly made a wise choice.
Thank you. And what is your name?
Scroungemore.
And have you come with me?
Yeah.
And this is my manservant Wood.
A pleasure, madam.
Very nice to meet
Bow deeper!
the great manservant switcheroo. And this, I can't remember, it's been so long since we played. What is your character's name?
Mate.
Maeve. And the character is a male or a female?
Female.
Female, okay, cool. Those, the other characters that aren't here, some of them sounded similar. Okay, cool. Maeve.
She's the truth seeker too.
And
Yes, that's true.
Maeve is female. And who are you? You seem very capable. Are you an adventurer?
We are.
She looks at
Royal
you.
we.
She looks at you specifically.
Okay.
Basics of third person.
And she says, "Oh, okay. So you're all adventurers. Okay.
We also seek the truth.
Oh, that's good.
Let's exchange truths.
Well, I mean, like I said, my order has been strangely short on those of late. Have
Can't you read the
discovered-
guides?
Well, that's what I was training to do, but without Zitembe to guide me, I don't know how we will get out of this. There's also been strange people visiting that don't have any place in our order, and Zitembe's talking to them, and he seems to be giving them more time than he should.
What do these people look like? We've heard some strange tales too.
Well, they're kind of, how do I describe them? They wear dark robes, almost black, and they always seem to be like, I don't know, they're engaged in harsh conversations. It hasn't come to blows yet, but I'm worried that it might.
Oh, yes, certainly.
Do you think that Zitembe is within their power in some way? That they're corrupting him?
Well, I mean, Zitembe is a paragon of virtue. I can't imagine him being in their debt. He must be wrestling with whether to help them or not. I couldn't possibly say. I'm sorry to burden you with this, my friend.
No, this is what we're here for.
Oh, good. That's good. So you're problem solvers of some sort?
We're seeking after truth and to right wrongs in general, and also collect money. I mean, I like money.
We
Is
like
your
to
order
help you
rich?
if we can, though.
Do you think we could maybe see your temple and your great order?
At this point, I would welcome any assistance. Yes,
Wonderful.
please.
We have an appointment at 9:30 with the Merchant Guild, but we can drop by around
11?
12, maybe?
Sure, please speak to Zitembe and see if you can help him. I mean, his problems are above my pay grade, but if you can
Wonderful.
help him, please do.
That sounds
Where should we
great.
find you?
You will find
Resort.
the temple in... I think I've overdone it with the notes this time. The Temple of Zavras.
Right.
And it is near...
Do you also make a type of hot sauce at your temple?
We make food.
Oh, so there'll be lunch.
Yeah, we do make food. We make ale.
Oh.
It's actually the ale that's used in the vintner's ale at this tavern is our ale.
Oh wow!
I know that's good stuff.
Love it.
And what's your name?
My name is Yudan.
You Dan?
Yudan.
You done? Wow.
So, does the Tembe have anyone in his confidence? Is there anyone he's close to?
Oh, I mean, he gives all of us very generously in terms of his time, and I don't think any of us can really be the rock that he needs. You know, he's at the top. It's lonely at the top.
Okay. All right. Great speaking with you. See you
you.
tomorrow
And you.
at the Temple of Zabras.
Great. We have so many actions.
On with our We're queuing up these side quests.
Were
Holy
any of the
shit.
names on your list, Guru?
Pardon?
Were any of
Yeah,
those names
was
on your list?
Tembe your guild leader dude?
No.
I'm just thinking if they're stewing up beer, that's not the poison guild, is it?
No.
The Poison Guild. The Guild of Nefarious Characters.
Alright, should we keep going around the pub or should we go down the street?
Yeah, let's maybe leave the pub, see what happens. Maybe these coloured bears?
Alright, yeah, let's go to the coloured bears.
Yeah.
You in, Caitlin?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. To the coloured bears!
Okay, you go outside, and you notice that the parade that previously contained these like brightly adorned trained bears has gone considerably further down the market square than it had before. So it's quite a ways away if you were going to like chase after it.
Oh.
We'd all like to chase after these coloured bears.
I'd like to transform into a coloured bear.
Okay, you transform into a coloured bear. Do you do
you're
it
not allowed
like?
to do magic.
Do you do it
What do you mean?
subtly?
Oh wait,
or
magic is
Well, you got arrested for you goddamn
It's not.
baboon.
No. You didn't get arrested just for using magic.
Oh,
you got
yeah,
arrested for intervening in the trial of those people.
Yeah, cool. I'll turn into a coloured bear and carry these two.
Okay, a few people beside you go, but you know they don't try to stab you or anything. But a couple of them grab their children and move further away.
As they should. Fear me.
Okay, and you chase after this group. Okay, you see that this parade is quite a large convoy that that ends with the coloured bears, but it has a section with like a sedan chair with curtains around it, and there's a section beyond that with armoured guards, about 8 of them you can see from here. And then there's a section beyond that with 8 armoured guards in slightly different coloured armour.
Wow.
And then a slightly portly man at the front leading them. And they seem to be heading towards that sort of throne merchant leaders district that I described before.
Cool. Let's just keep following these guys.
Well, maybe we should make a play.
Talk to the man at the front.
Who do we think it is? Who has the coloured bears? It must be bloody not animal bastard again. Who would have trained bears?
I guess anyone.
Let's
can
ask the
spot
guys at the back. Right, we try and catch up to the folks at the back of this procession.
Well, it goes like bears, sedan chair, guards.
Oh,
them.
okay.
Okay.
There's the damn check up.
Infantry.
Okay.
I think he's ready as well.
Okay. Let's.
Space through.
Yeah, we examine. I want to examine the sedan chair and see if I can work out if it's of a character of any of the factions we've previously heard about.
Okay.
Like whether it looks pretty thievery or animally or like poisony, for example. I forget the other factions, to be honest.
You examine the sedan chair.
Belly.
Okay, make a perception check.
Oh, it doesn't look that great. 8.
In total?
Yeah.
Okay.
The rolls haven't been very good.
You notice that the curtains are closed still, but the people, there's guards, but there's also like 4...
That's the chair bearers, right?
Yeah, 4 peasants like carrying the chair. And it seems like, make an insight check, because you failed to see inside the sedan chair with an 8, and because the curtains are closed.
19.
19? Okay. You notice that they don't seem to be straining that much. Like, they should be straining more if even a medium-sized person was in there.
Okay. Someone very light. Who's on the list?
Quippeth, poison, Zen, jewelry person? Maybe they're just carrying jewelry. And it's not even a person.
Okay, we know someone light is in there, or maybe no one's in there. Maybe it's like a child or something. What should we do?
I'm sorry guys, I need to go to bed. The smell of food is making me feel super nauseous. I'm really sorry, but
okay.
I can't do this.
Okay, look, we'll say that Wood comes over in a yellow pallor and says he's going to go hang out.
Yellow as this bread.
Hang out with the peasants from before.
No, I'm sorry.
Dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a valiant effort.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
I hope you feel better, man.
Okay, yeah, take it easy. We'll wash those dice.
Yeah, but don't mix them with your dice.
Poor thing.
Right.
Right, message if you need anything.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I don't want the guards to like fuck me up. I could disguise myself. I mean, maybe it's this dude. Okay, what should we do? Right, let's let's walk up to the. I walk up to the carrying people, to the back right one, and I like tug on their belt.
Oh wow, that looks lovely.
And I say, "Who are you carrying?"
Oh wow. Make a persuasion check.
It's my best. Oh,
Oh goodness.
but I do have +5, so it's 8.
Okay. He says,
It's not great.
"Listen, I need this job. I'm not allowed to say." And he seems to be like talking out the side of his mouth, so it looks like
Yeah.
he just keeps walking.
Yeah.
Shall we pause?
Should we-
briefly?
Yeah.
Assemble
should we
food.
serve and then return to it?
Thank you. It's great.
Okay.
Think of a strategy to talk to whoever's in this palanquin. Kenny, what are we going to do about this person? I mean, I could shout. I don't want the guards to beat the shit out of me.
Why don't we shout? Yeah.
I mean, I could disguise myself.
What are you going to disguise yourself as?
Volo. Get that shit in trouble. I guess we don't want him in prison.
It'd be tricky for him to introduce you the next day.
Well, they said there was a man at the front in charge of the convoy. Right? So why don't we
okay.
go speak to him and
Right.
find out who it is?
How fast is the convoy moving?
Like a walking pace.
Okay. Let's shuffle. Let's sort of fast walk past the convoy until we're abreast of the portly man in front.
Okay. You fast walk up. It doesn't take you too long. And he seems to be dressed in much more elaborate, wealthy sort of clothing, like gold epaulettes and things. He looks like halfway between like a merchant and a military person.
Okay, well, why don't I greet him, given I also come from a military background? He might be more sympathetic
Sure.
to
Okay.
me than Scroungemore, who comes across a little worse for it, even on
Sound-
the best days.
Sound legal
Okay. So
and important.
what do you say or do?
We want to talk to the boss. Just treat him like a dirtbag in a military way.
What do you reckon?
This one's on you. I'd go with what ho. What ho, good Sirrah. I must speak with your employer.
Yeah, what ho? Can I ask whose convoy this is?
What? Why are you out of uniform? Get back in line behind me. Make
I
a.
think you mistake me, sir.
Aren't you one of my guards?
I'm not, no.
Then
Do I
what
look
are
like
you
one of your
doing?
guards?
Well, yes, in that you're wearing armor. I've got a very important delivery. What do you need? What is this?
Oh.
What's the delivery, may I ask?
Oh, you may not. This is a very important delivery. If it is worth all of these guards, and he gestures behind him and he sort of puffs himself up, looking very pleased with his position.
Why have you been trusted with such an important delivery?
Because I am Otamu, the greatest merchant in all of the south.
Oh wow. Is he on Gary's list?
No, he looks like he has a different complexion as well. Like he doesn't seem like he's from this city.
The greatest merchant in all the south. That's quite the title.
Of course. Now get out of my way. I have an urgent appointment. And he just keeps like striding forward. He was talking to you while sort of staring straight ahead often. He only glanced at you a couple of times, so you get the sense that he's on a mission. And you're about 500 feet away from the wealthy merchant guild area.
I guess we can just follow him.
Sure.
And I could always just try and rob him. Seems like not a good idea. Let's just
Strand Robin?
no, I could just try and pick his pockets.
Oh,
But I won't do that. I think let's just follow, since we don't have an ingenious plan at this moment in time.
Sounds
Okay,
good. Well,
cool.
unless we file in and pretend to be his soldiers.
Well, but you've already talked to him now. Let's just march.
Okay. You follow behind him, and in about 500 feet's time, he arrives outside this sort of elaborate golden palace. And there's 4 guards outside the entrance to this palace. And you hear him sort of speak, and you hear a couple of words like the delivery, the package, and all this sort of thing. And then one of the guards goes in and closes the door, and there's a few moments of waiting.
Into the what?
Into the doorway leading to the golden palace.
Okay.
After a while, he comes out and opens the door and sort of gestures to the slightly portly fellow at the front. And then the portly fellow gestures to the sedan chair. And the sedan chair people come up to him and lower it down. And you see... where are you guys standing in relation to this?
Just sort of 10 feet away.
Okay.
Maybe a bit more. Far enough to not seem like we're crowding them.
Okay. So as you're sort of parallel to this, as the sedan chair bearers bring this thing down, they open up the curtains and they take out a pillow, and on top of the pillow is like, make a perception check. You can both make one.
Yeah. 10 for me.
Okay, that's the 3, which means only 5 for me.
Okay. You guys are about 20, 25 feet away. It looks like a small box. Quite small. Probably like 3 inches by 2 inches. And maybe half an inch in depth. But you don't know what kind of a box based on those checks. And you see it quickly gets grabbed by the portly fellow, and he rushes into the palace, and the palace doors close.
Something suspicious is going on. Okay. What are the guards and the chair bearers doing?
The chair bearers are just standing there beside the lowered sedan chair, and the guards are just standing still behind them.
What should we do? Should we try and go in? I stride up to the doors and give a mighty rap.
The guard stops you beforehand and says, "What business have you at this late hour?"
We've got the documentation for your secret package.
What secret package?
Don't mention the secret package!
Roll a deception check. That was great.
14.
He says, "I know of no other package scheduled. Yours seem like a troublemaker. Keep your distance."
It's not another package, simpleton. This is the precious information of which everyone needs to make sense of the package that's already in there.
Who?
And I take out some papers and wave them in the air. And I put them back under my robes.
Who are you here to contact?
What don't you understand about secret?
Well, if you want me to get someone, who do you want?
Look, I only have a code name, but it's probably your boss. The code name is Banana Pancakes. Now, does that mean anything to you, or are you just a lowly guard?
Okay.
Time is of the essence.
Are you trying to like intimidate him? Or it's kind of deception, really.
A bit of a... and confused.
Let me have a go at intimidating.
Okay, but how do you intend to do that? And how has Scroungeful integrated you into this ruse?
Let's just say I was persuading. That's my best stat.
I have +5 intimidation.
It's more deception. Yeah.
All right. I gesture Maeve over, and I say, well, you're not... Yeah. I gesture Maeve over to sort of loom menacingly.
Okay.
Time is of the essence.
And do you
forwards.
loom in any particular manner?
Yeah, I think I'm quite tall and big, right? So I'm gonna stoop over this person.
Well,
and make them talk.
depending on how big they are.
Yeah.
Okay, roll an intimidation check.
Oh, shit.
It's a natural
It's a
one.
natural 1 plus 5, so 6.
Okay, if it's a natural 1, roll the d20 again for me and we'll see what happens on the natural 1 table. Have I done this with you guys yet?
No, I don't think so.
18
Ooh, okay.
plus 5.
Yeah, but this is for what? This is for some bad thing that's going to happen.
For a moment, you feel embarrassed at your failure to intimidate this person, but then you remember all your previous successes and you feel much better. And he says, and he gets a couple of his companions and says, "You are time wasters. Take 2 steps back." And he's got like spears pointed at you.
Okay, fools, but your boss won't be happy. Alright, we'll walk off.
Okay.
Try and climb over the wall.
Well, it's kind of, you only see the front facade of the building, so it's not so much a wall as just a big building. You could try and climb it if you want. Are you going to try to, where do you try to climb it? Imagine like, you know the White House? Imagine that, and just the front part. And it's like just sheer walls and stuff.
Can we go around the back? Let's take a trip around the block.
Okay, you can do a little walk around. Make either investigation or perception.
Whoops. 4 for me.
12 for me.
Alright, you notice that it's kind of a rounded, ovoid sort of a shaped building. And there's guards stationed at all the doorways that you can see. There's obviously upper floors. This is a 3-story building, roughly. Palace, I should say. And there's some terraces and stuff on the 3rd floor. Yeah, you don't notice much else beyond that with a 10 or a 12. What was it?
12.
12, yeah.
Okay, let's... I walk up to the nearest guard, not too close.
Which guard?
Just the one on one of the nearest doorways.
Okay, so not the same ones.
No, not the same ones.
Okay.
And I say, excuse me, guard, I'm lost. What's the name of this palace?
Where this is Golden Throne.
Golden Throne! I exclaim loudly.
Okay.
And whose palace is it?
Well, it is a joint venture of all the merchant princes.
Oh, everybody's here. God damn. Alright, thanks, Mr. Guard. We carry on our way.
You are welcome.
Do we want to try and go in now? I mean, Vola's going to walk us in tomorrow. I think we want to stick with him rather than doing any silly jiggery pokery where we're going to end up out of our depth and looking like morons. That's what usually happens. What's the time now?
You're looking about midnight.
Why don't we go back to our bodies and rest up until 9 and go meet Vola? Well, otherwise we're just staggering around doing random shit. Yeah, okay. I suggest that, I lead us back to Zerul's house.
Hello.
Azul's house. Hello. We go back to Azul's house. Sorry it's so late. We just came for more sleep. Is that okay?
You see them like lying in the bed in the corner and they sort of like lift their head up to go, yeah, it's fine, just lie down quietly.
Okay.
You see Wood like writhing in pain sort of in the other corner of the room.
Okay. I think we want to sleep until about 8 AM, so we're in time for meeting Vola at 9:30.
Okay, so you go to sleep. Okay, you wake up.
Hell yeah! Alright, let's meander to the Golden Palace, the Golden Throne.
Okay, you meander. You arrive at the entrance to the Golden Throne, and you see... What time is it do you get up? Sorry, what time is it? When do you get up?
8.
Okay, and when do you get to the Golden Throne by? Well, that distance would take you not very long, like 25 minutes to walk. So you get there quite early?
So we're an hour. Sure.
Okay. You see that the guards and the sedan chair and everything is gone, and the people, the guards on the front door that had questioned you yesterday have changed. They look different. and you see that business is starting to happen. Like there's some wagons pulling goods to and fro, but sort of leisurely. Everybody feels like they've got a good jump on the day at this point.
Okay, what's Wood wearing? Does he have any nice clothes? I pull out an interdimensional flower from my pack and I pin it to Wood's jacket.
Okay.
All right.
You brought Wood with you, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
cool.
he's the boss here.
Okay.
He's the one that Rollo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're the
So
manservant. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes!
The show.
Okay, cool. Okay, so let's say you just wait.
We just want to hang around for Rollo to show up.
Okay, you wait till 9:30. He doesn't show. You wait until 9:40. Nothing. You wait until 9:45. You see something that looks like Volo stumbling towards you. And he's got kind of stains all over his clothes. And as he gets closer, you see that it is Volo. And he says, "What ho, good morrow.
Another pub all night.
Shit.
I have had a bacchanalia of an evening. Gosh, it was good. Yes, but we have this, don't we? Okay. Hello, Wood. Good to see you. Oh, that flower is interesting. Where did you get that?" And Wood says, in my journey to the woods. I love trees. Oh, okay. Let's talk about that later. And then he goes up to the guards and says, "I have an appointment." And the guards say, "With who?" in a kind of sort of a mechanical fashion. And he says, "Ogolo, merchant prince of magical fair."
Playing the game.
Uh-oh. He's trying to sell us down the river.
What gives you that impression?
Magical fair.
Fair means like stuff, right? Like items.
He wants to sell our magical flower.
And then the guard says, "Okay, stay here." And he goes inside to... Similar amount of time passes with the guy with the sedan chair, and then he comes out and says, Agolo said, "Again?" And told you to come in. Are these two with you? Oh, sorry, these three? How many do you have?
There's three of us.
Yeah. And then Volo says, "Yes, of course." He says, "All right, this way." You go inside and there's sort of just marble everywhere and really gaudy, like golden encrusted like columns and things.
Oh.
And you see that certain parts of the palace are just kind of museum-esque. Make a perception check, please, both of you.
10.
16.
Okay. Scroungemore, you just can't help noticing all the gold foiling, and you just think to yourself, "Ooh, if I could strip all this down and sell it." And Maeve, you notice to the right of this main sort of entrance hall is a big open sort of space with all these like glass cabinets, and you notice that on one of the glass cabinets towards the middle is a little rectangular box that looks very similar to the one you saw before. And you're going past this and you're led by the guard and Volo. And Volo says, "Tell Agolo I couldn't wait to see him again, even though we spoke yesterday. Can you go ahead for me?" And he sort of like chivvies the guard on the shoulder, and then the guard sort of rushes ahead. And he says, "Look at this place. If I could give up the open road, I would get a place like this." And he keeps walking like he knows the way because he saw this person presumably yesterday. And then you go into sort of an antechamber that leads on to a throne room. And it's just very different to the outside. This one is all dark wood paneling and sort of wooden floorboards. And there's this person in like robes, colourful robes, sitting on the throne, and about 10 guards on either side of the throne room. And he stands up and he says, "Volo, again?" And then Volo says, "Yes, I have some buyers for those books that I gave you already, and I thought, why not connect them with you directly?" And he says, "Oh, interesting. And who are these people?" And he gestures to you guys.
Right. Wood had better do the talking. I guess Wood says...
I guess we want to say we're very impressed by their collection and want to find out a bit more about what it is.
"We are travelling nobility," says Wood. And powerful problem solvers, but also scholars. We love books and trees. Most of all, And we've heard tell of your fabulous collection. Please tell us more.
Okay, make a persuasion check, and let's just say with your stats for fun.
My stats are great.
It'll just be fun that way.
16.
Like, let's say that you and Wood like swapped clothes. No, 16. Okay, he says, yes, my collection is known far and wide. You were right to be so impressed. So, you're scholars, but also problem solvers, and also nobility.
Indeed. We're very accomplished.
I see. Well, I mean, you could... How many copies of this book would you like? I mean, they've barely been processed through my inventory.
Wood says,
Let's get to the book. First, tell us more about your collection. What's your favourite piece within it?
Well, a lot of my collection is off limits to the public, let's say, but I did acquire quite a good piece last night. My favourite thing about it is I only know the tiniest morsel about it. I can't wait to have my mage have a look at it. And you see this sort of hungry look in his eyes as he sort of like starts wringing his hands in a sort of appreciative fashion. Are you a collector also?
We are, and our mage, Scrimjaw, I'm sure, could have a look at it for you, if you'd be interested.
Ooh, okay. Make a persuasion check with advantage, because this guy's like in throes of enthusiasm at the
What
moment.
disadvantage?
You roll twice and you take the higher.
13 and 16 and persuasion plus 3, so 19.
Okay. He says, interesting. First, I thought you were customers, but now perhaps. And he sort of trails off. And he turns to one of the guards and he makes this like hand gesture that looks kind of like just a couple of like up and down lines. And then the guard like runs off and like closes this curtain that you didn't see before behind the door that you just came through. And then a bunch of other guards close a bunch of other curtains that sort of lead off from this room, sort of making it all curtained in. And then he says, please have a seat. And he taps on his throne, and then these like wooden benches sort of like come up from the floor in these little hatches. And then there's just a table in front of you. And some chairs, obviously. Do you sit at the table?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, you sit at the table. One of the other guards comes back a moment later, and there's another 2 guards behind him, and then another 2 guards behind them. And they're holding this pillow that you saw from before. And he places the pillow like, and you can see his hand sort of shaking on the table. And then the brightly robed gentleman said, well, now this is it. So, who can tell me what this is about? And he sort of like leans in very conspiratorially. Is it you?
Who's talking again, sorry?
I'm losing track of his name. Agolo, the merchant prince of magical fare.
And he says, who can tell me
About this item.
about this item?
Your companion was saying that perhaps you can help me with this.
Yes!
Is that your scrounging voice?
It's my manservant voice.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yes, I'm an accomplished
I
sorcerer.
don't know how you got a magical manservant, but it seems an amazing employment.
We only look for the best.
Okay. Please tell me. Do whatever is necessary to tell me about it.
Okay. So, can I touch it?
Yes. But carefully. And he pulls out these sort of gloves from his robes and says, wear these.
Okay, I put on the gloves. And then I pick up very gently this book, object. And then I look at it for a few seconds.
Okay. You just look at it, that's all you do?
Well, I want to examine it.
Up close, I'll give you it in stages. Up close, it looks like a pack of cards, but not like any cards you've seen before. It's a little bit longer. It doesn't look like traditional playing cards of this world, and it's got all these sort of like old patterns on it. You can tell just by holding it that it's really old. And yeah, that's all you notice so far. Do you attempt to discern its magical properties if it has any?
Yeah.
Okay, make an Arcana check for me. Please.
Yeah, I mean, I am... Oh, fuck, no. I got a 1.
Okay.
Plus 2 is 3, but yeah, it's the natural 1.
Roll the 20 for me again.
19.
19. Okay, cool. So,
Oh, hang on.
what?
I'm lucky.
Oh, you're a halfling, aren't you?
Yes!
Well done. Okay, you can roll again.
Thank God for
But you
that.
have to take this one.
16.
Okay, plus your arcana.
plus 2, so 18.
18. Okay.
Oh, thank God for that.
You sense an incredible magical energy from this pack of cards. More than you've ever felt before. You're not sure of its nature. It feels like lots of different kinds of magic are almost like overlapping each other and becoming this like mush of confusing magic, but there's just tons of it, all different types. And
Wow.
you're not sure what it's called, but you're just overwhelmed by the scale of the energy.
This is awesome. I love it. I'm feeling very happy. I like being near a source of strong magic, like the wild magic that turned me into a sorcerer. Ah!
Do you do that?
In my head.
Oh, okay. Okay, good.
I look up into the eyes of Obolo, and without making any without changing my expression, I try and get a sense of what he is interested in.
Okay.
What's his angle?
Well, he leans close, and as you're looking at him, he says, "Well, what does it do? What does it do? I know some things, but I want to know what you think it does."
Okay, I'll just tell the truth. I feel that this is a very powerful magical object, but it's layers of different magical objects all together. There's all sorts of different powerful magic in this object.
Ooh. And is it what? Is there any danger? Like, can we open it? How do you use it? Is it used?
So, I want to examine the object some more and think about how I might use it. Can I-
Well, it's a pack of cards. How do you what do you do with it?
I want to pick up the top card
So you open the box and take out the card.
slowly. And also, while I'm doing that, I'm sort of looking at his reaction.
Okay.
Yeah, open it up and take the cards out.
Okay. We have cups for this section.
Oh my god!
That was a lot of excitement right there.
I'm really excited.
Okay, just I gotta take out some stuff quickly. Okay.
I'm thrilled.
Okay. You take out the top card, you said. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. There you go. Now, what does the card say?
The card says Uriel.
Okay.
Uriel.
Uriel.
Not spelled like the angel.
R-Y-A-L-E. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. As the face of this Medusa-like figure looks at you from the card, you feel that the card almost like moves, like the head is alive, and you feel a deep well of like sickness in your body,
Jesus.
and it sort of takes hold of your constitution.
Oh, fuck.
And you got to write on your front sheet that all your saving throws in the top left
Yeah.
are at -1.
Okay. That's not the worst thing in the world.
So just whenever you're doing one of those, just -1 from it.
Is
And
this
then
like
the
a
card,
curse?
as you feel the sickness settle in your body, the card goes and disappears into these sort of like sparks, like from a bonfire.
Shit.
And then the guy says, "What? What happened? What did you do with my card? Get it!" And he points to the guards and rushes to get them to, because he thinks that you've destroyed one of his cards.
Right, yeah.
And the guards like rush towards you,
Okay.
like 20 of them.
Right, I'll raise my hand and say,
Okay.
hold!
Is that what you do?
Yeah.
Make a persuasion check.
No, don't tell them what happened.
19. No, 20.
Wait. What is it? What have you done with my card? And he tells them to stop. Well, he holds up his hand as if he's doing it temporarily.
Fool! I just saved your life! If you had witnessed that card, you would have been burned into a million pieces. Only a powerful sorcerer like me could have absorbed its magical energies, and it wasn't painful, so I'd appreciate it, thank you.
Okay. It was painful, did you say?
It was painful.
Okay. Make a... Is that technically lying?
Well,
That's true.
I didn't enjoy the sickness at the core of my being.
But did anything? What did you say? Say what you said again. I've got to like check it to see what kind of check it is. I saved you from something fake.
I
Right?
said, I saved your life. If you had looked at the face of that card, it would have destroyed you. Only a powerful sorcerer like me would have absorbed its magical energy.
So it wouldn't have technically.
I think it's poetic license.
Yeah, I'll say you can make a persuasion or a deception check. That's fine.
I mean, my persuasion stat is much better.
How does it down?
Just go for it. Go for it.
I might just bomb it.
19.
Yeah, so 24.
No.
He says,
I
"Oh,
just feel like,
oh," and he looks like back to his excited state again. He says, "Oh, that's good. Are they all like that? Are they different? What happened? How did you feel?" And he turns to you and says, "Where did you get this manservant?"
I felt like a part of my soul was being corrupted. Now, as for the other cards in this deck, I cannot tell without directly observing them whether they cause harm or generate riches or do other things. I will have to examine it most carefully if you'll permit me.
It seems like an unearthly gamble. Why would you take your life in your hands again? And he tells the guards to sort of like go back.
Well, I won't. I don't want to. I don't want to look at these cards directly. I'll think about how I can observe them in other ways. But let me think for a moment and discuss with my enlightened comrades.
Yeah.
Right, come on, Caitlin. What do we do?
Okay, cool. 10 off him.
Help me out here.
I think we should ask him, we should say these cards have clearly some dark power in them. What does he intend for them?
Okay, why don't you say that? Well, I'm deep in
meditating on
thought.
the
Yeah,
purpose of
exactly.
cards.
So I'm still holding the cards, but I'm deep in thought.
You're trying to learn more things.
And I'm contemplating,
Okay.
thinking about my strategy.
We'll cut back to you in a second. So, what were you going to say? Something? Did you say something?
These cards clearly have some dark power in them. What is your intention for them?
Well, I mean, my business is my own, but it was just a member of my collection. I hadn't decided what to do with it yet. All I'd heard was that they held incredible power, incredible potential, but that no one that I'd found knew how to harness them. So it was a project of mine, let's say, that is still very much ongoing.
Do you know where they came from?
Well, they came from the south, and that gentleman that I held audience with last night. Maybe he gave me a bad deal. And he starts to like darkly ponder and look sort of introspective.
We need to get some information from this guy about what the hell's going on. What's going on in the city?
Do you trust this gentleman?
See if you can work out what's going on.
Well, I mean, he's a merchant like any other, like myself even, but, you know, he's honest where money is concerned. I'm concerned. I don't know if I can risk you exposing yourself to more of these cards. I must eat. And then he stands up and walks out of the room. And he says, Joni will take care of you. And this like little priest guy comes out from one of the catacombs. What are those things called? Like a little niche in the side of the room and says, can I get you some food? Very like wizened old lady.
Okay, let's grill Joni.
And he seems like a spoiled noble. He's just like left to eat.
Joni, you can get us something. Information. What's going on in this town? And what is your master up to?
Well, I can't comment on my master's affairs. He must trust you if he's brought you into this throne room. What do you want?
We trust you too, and that's why we're trusting you to explain to us the delicate political sensibilities of the city. We know you see things from that little niche you like to hide in.
Well, Agolo is the most influential, the most resourceful. He shares power with the other merchant princes, but he is, as you've seen, clearly much wiser and wealthier than they. Look at this throne room.
I saw that very clearly. He's clearly the most powerful and the smartest. What about the sickness in the city? Has he been trying to cure that? People going back to death.
I hear that the peasants in the city don't believe that anything is wrong, but I believe that something is amiss. I don't know what it is, but I am, even at my old age, much more careful when I walk around. If I should take a fall, that would be the end.
Is the sickness affecting the wealthy merchants too?
Yes, everybody. I mean, anyone that is been fatally wounded, and all revivals just don't work on them.
We've heard about nefarious characters influencing the merchants, dressed all in black. Have they visited Agolo?
No, I haven't heard about anything affecting the merchants like that. No, merchants tend to see customers, colleagues. I think you're thinking of the temple.
Yes.
So it's not a
What do you
merchant.
know of the temple, Jonah?
That was this very specific temple. What was it?
It was the Temple of Zavras, Juba's order.
There you go. So if you ask her about that, she says, good folk, solid people, you know, all about the truth. You can trust them. Which is comforting in a religious organization.
Oh, right. What should we do with these cards? Shall I look at some more just for kicks? Or should we try and run away with them? Or shall we what are we doing here? I'm a bit lost. I'm looking for you direction.
Well, we're trying to find out who all the different influential merchants are, right? Because we think all of them
We
may
know a few of them.
either know something or perhaps be directing,
Where's Volo gone? Is he still here?
just loitering. It's like half drunk, presumably, so he's
Yeah,
not
I
paying
think.
attention.
Yeah. He's in the throne room.
He's sort of
He's in the
nodded off.
throne room with
Still
you,
wakes
but he's sort of like he's kind of hungover still, so he's sort of like coming in and out of paying attention, and he says, "What was that? What was that your manservant retrieved? What was it? It just disappeared in his hands. Did you burn one of the prince's cards?"
Wood says, no, Volo. It was powerful magic. Stay over there for a safe distance.
Make a persuasion check or intimidation.
Let's do a persuasion.
6.
9 plus 5 is 14.
If I can brave the ice wolves, I can brave some small cards. I think I'll be okay. And then his eyes kind of unfocus, and he rubs them a little bit harder. He smells, even from that distance, like wine. And beer, oddly.
So, Volo's
What should we do about these
particularly
cards?
brave of you to be behaving this way, given the curse that's afflicting the city.
Well, you know, I haven't ventured out beyond this city. I stick to areas where I'm more experienced, like the south, like the ice lakes. I don't tend to take my chances in this area, especially with that curse.
So if you were in the ice lakes and something were to happen, you'd be able to come back? It's just in this city that you think this affliction is...
This is the first I've heard of it, my lady. I don't believe that I have heard of it anywhere else. It's certainly worrying that, I'll be leaving tomorrow, so hopefully it won't be my problem anymore.
Interesting. And Joni, where do you think it came from? What started this curse?
Well, we don't know. It just came about, a month or two ago? Can I get you any food at all? The master will be back soon.
No, I really want to look at this card deck again. I want to fucking another go.
Go for it.
I'm too tempted!
Okay, you take another go.
Jonah, step back!
Oh, and she said, you should probably wait until the master gets back.
Fetch the master!
Okay, she scurries out the door.
I'll wait.
Okay.
Actually, who's around? Are there any guards?
Guards,
Oh.
and Volo, and that's it. Like 20 guards.
Well, so when the master comes back, we're going to say you've been reflecting on the cards, and you're going to do another...
I just want to look at them all, or at least one. I just don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I want to get some with Volo. Oh,
Okay.
we'll wait for him to come in.
Okay, he comes back and he's got like
Volo,
a chicken leg in his hand still, and he's got like a napkin put into the front of his robes, and he says, "Yes? What? Did you have an idea? What did you learn?"
Okay, I say to Agolo, these cards have potential to do good and harm.
Oh, and he starts to like lower the chicken leg and says, "Tell me more."
Ones that do good will give powerful benefit to those who look upon their face. Those that do harm will give disbenefit.
Oh, how could you know? What makes it worth the risk? Is it worth it? I can't afford to lose my position. Look at this.
It's a magical item for those with gambling tendencies. Is that one such as you? Would you be able to resist the temptation?
but I know some that might be willing. This could be very, very positive. Well, I think that is excellent news. Thank you for your explanation.
Why don't we form a partnership? We are nobility like yourselves. We can take this to those who might seek benefit from it and sell it to them or for whatever you need.
I have many customers that I can sell this service to. You don't need to worry yourself. But thank you very much. And he clicks his fingers and one of the guards comes over with like a pouch of gold and says, "Here, for your time." And it looks like a pretty heavy pouch of gold.
Well, we obviously recognise that mark of gratitude, but don't you think one with his magical abilities and our colleague Wood and the wisdom that he has and with my strength, we could offer you something?
Well, make a persuasion check.
Come on, Kanan.
21.
Ooh, he says, well, if you could be sure that you would take a negative card, that would be hugely helpful to me, because that would lower the odds. If you can do that, you seem to absorb the previous one, then you may take another. But can you guarantee that?
I'm prepared to bear the risk.
Make either persuasion or deception.
13.
13. And he says, and you see that he says, okay, let's do it.
Okay.
And you pick up the card. Right, which one do you take this time? Do you take middle, top? Like, tell me what you do.
I just take the top.
Okay. What does it say?
Okay, so I just hold it up to my face so no one else can see.
Okay.
It says flames. It looks bad.
Okay. Inside your mind's eye, you see a vision. Your eyes close involuntarily, and you see a vision of just a dark expanse, like the ground is black, and then you see distantly in the distance some just flames, and they start as embers, but then they get taller and taller, and then there's a shadow cast in the flames, sort of a horned creature, and you feel fear, and then your eyes open again, and then the card goes. What was it this time? You look pale. What happened?
I just describe what I see.
Oh, goodness me, you did an excellent job. And he clicks his finger and the person brings another pouch of gold.
Hooray!
Okay, now, we cannot chance it again. And he takes the cards from you and gives them to the wizened old lady, whose name I forgot. Joni. And Joni, holds it at arm's length and, takes it into a different room and says, please, let my guards escort you out. You've been incredibly helpful. Do you take the gold pouches?
Yeah, I grab the gold pouches and put them into my bag of holding.
Okay.
How much is it? How much is in it?
It is.
I'll count it later. It's okay.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you for your records. It's 150 gold
total.
Well, yeah. So each one is 75.
Hot diggity dog. That's fantastic.
Please, if you ever want to discuss other different dealings, or you have items you would like to sell, please come back. And then he sort of escorts you as far as the throne room, but then lets the guards take you the rest of the way. What do you do?
Maybe show us guys about who else is in this complex. If they all.
Yes.
All right.
Why don't we say we've got an appointment with Hakao?
Sure.
Oh, didn't we have an appointment at Juna's order at 10:30?
At 12. What
12.
time is it? What time is it now?
This would be about
Oh, that was a real trip.
11, I would say.
Okay. Yeah, let's. No?
Okay,
Let's ask the guards.
Sure.
What do you ask them?
I say to the guards, we have an appointment with Hakao,
Is this the
Master of Literature.
Oh, the Master of Literature. Yes.
You damn fool, guard!
And he says, you'll need to speak to the guard at the front. And he's showing you to the exit. We are the personal guard of a golem.
Oh.
And then you get shown out.
Okay.
And you are outside the building now.
Okay.
This place is shared by all of them,
Yeah.
so the front people
Shared
are kind of like
concierge.
the gatekeepers, if you will.
Yeah, what do you think? Okay, let's go talk to the front guard and say,
Yeah.
hello, we're here to meet Hakal.
Do you have an appointment?
Yes.
And you see Volo behind you say, yes, we've been through this.
11 o'clock.
And he sends you in. Sorry, Volo sends the guard in to go inquire. You wait about 3 minutes. And he comes out and he says, he says there is no appointment. Are you sure that Akal is the one you need to see? And then you see this look on Volo's face and he says, oh, did I say Akal? Oh, no. Agolo is the one we were meant to see. I must have given you the wrong name. Ah, good. Well, that was for my book. You didn't buy my book? And then his eyes widen and he says, what were you doing wasting your time? And then you see him go like this. Ah, I've had enough of you. You didn't even buy my book. How will you learn from my adventures? How will you follow in my footsteps? Yeah. And he sort of starts to look a little bit green. And he says, off with you. I need to rest. And he sort of holds his forehead.
Okay, let's go to the temple.
To Juma's order, the Temple of Saras.
Okay, so you follow the directions given to you by the acolyte previously, and you find that the temple is cool. It's quite like minimally adorned. It's kind of a grey stone exterior, and it's got this symbol above the entrance of a huge eyeball. Huge eyeball, and then small like crystal balls that look like eyes within that eye. So it's like eyes within eyes. And basically, it's one of the older looking buildings in the city. It's got a tiled roof that is shaped into a dome that resembles another unblinking eye that's like facing the sky. And you walk in. And you see towards the back, there's this group of sort of black-robed figures, and then a very old man in sort of grey robes that's sort of like speaking to them in hushed tones. And it looks like somewhat of a heated conversation, and the people in black robes are holding like a pouch of coin. And the old-looking guy has put his hands out like this, like he doesn't want to accept it. And it looks like the voices are slowly getting louder as well.
Right, let's just approach the group.
Yep, sounds good.
You lead the way, Maeve.
Okay.
Okay. You approach and you hear the old man say, "No, I can't help you. I don't know what you're talking about, and I will not consult the guides without more information. You're not telling me something." And they say, "It doesn't matter. We have the gold. Just do it." He says, "No." And then you see they start to like look at each other, the assassin-looking people, which are all in black, and they've got these like black things over their mouths. And then one of them like draws a sword and looks like he's about to attack the old guy.
All right.
Would you like to do anything in this split second?
Yeah.
Shout out! Stop, bastards!
I'm going to call to stop, and I'm going to try and move in between
Okay.
them and the old guy.
Okay. Make a dexterity check.
15.
15? Okay. You manage to step in between. They clang against your armor with the sword and say, "What is this?" And everybody needs to roll initiative.
Hooray! Fight! Where's my... I need that blue D20, where's it?
Is it this one?
Yeah.
It's that one. It's serious, actually.
No, it's not, is it?
It's not the same. Okay.
Right, I'm 11.
12.
Okay, that makes it easy. Okay, cool. First up is Scroungement. Yeah, you're in this pretty open space. Grey stone everywhere, a couple of grey columns. It's sort of like a, I don't know what I would call, like a piazza.
Okay, and how many people in black are there?
There's 3 of them.
And are they sort of standing together?
Yeah, they're all like abreast of each other, and one of them has leaned forward to stab the old guy, but Maeve stood in between. So one of them's slightly forward.
And
how-
like, are they actively attacking?
Yeah, they're looking like
Yeah,
they're
they
gonna kill us?
lift their swords like they're going to
Okay.
attack you.
Jesus. And how far away am
I'll say. In order for Maeve to get there, you're about 30 feet away.
I? Okay, sure. Maybe, yeah, 30 feet away. Okay, that's fine. Well, I'll just do. I'll cast Ray of Frost
Okay.
on one of the dudes.
Roll to attack.
Where's my tank? 7. Got a 7.
Okay, you got a 7.
What do I
Your
do?
ray of frost sails just over their shoulders and frosts the wall of the temple.
Balls. Do I get a plus? I've forgotten how this works.
Well, you do, yeah.
Is
Your
that
top right should be your spell attack bonus.
Oh, so should I add that?
Yeah.
12.
12.
Sorry.
It still misses, but by less. So the frostbolt sort of lowers and sort of scrapes the top of their robes, but doesn't actually damage them.
Okay.
Would you like to move or interact with an object or speak to someone?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Next up is Maeve.
Get him.
Sorry, just looking at the bonus sections.
Intense studying. It's been a while for us.
What does Searing Smite do?
That's a sort of it sort of boosts your attack by giving it extra features. So if you hit with a melee attack with your sword, you can choose to use Searing Smite, I think, which will then enhance it by giving it like flame damage, I think, which is like an extra 2d6 or something like that, or 1d6 something.
Okay.
Does it say?
No, it doesn't say, but it's a bonus action, so why don't I...
You can sort of see whether you hit first.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to attack with your sword?
Yeah, with my great sword.
Nice.
So remind me how I
Oh, you
dice
roll
for
the
attacking?
d20, and then
Yeah.
if you look at your greatsword, it'll say how much you add.
2d6, yeah.
Okay. No, sorry.
Oh.
To hit, it
Oh,
says
plus
+3, but what have you got +3
Oh,
again?
that's I think from when I had a previous
Bonus.
spell on, when I was
Okay.
doing my Celestial Light or...
Got it.
whatever
So it's just, so roll the d20 and then add 3.
18.
Okay. That hits, so you can choose to use your smite now if you want to.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's mine.
Yeah. So that means you roll a d8, and then I'm going to see how much this Searing Smite adds.
So there's 1d8.
No, there's more to it. I just got to figure out how many there are. And then, yeah, then a d6 on top of that. And the target is ignited in flames. Okay, so cool. Roll the d8 and then roll the d6.
6 on the d8
Mm-hmm. And on the other one?
and 4 on the d6.
Oh
Okay.
my god.
So that's 10 in total?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the target must make a constitution at the start of each of its turns. Oh, okay. So, and then you see, after you strike with your sword, the robes of this dark, suspicious-looking character burst into flames. And he starts like patting them out, trying to deal with them. And on his turn, he's going to have to make a constitution saving throw, or take more fire damage from still being on fire. Cool. Would you like to move or stay where you are between them?
You stay there,
I'll stay
Tank.
where I am. Yeah.
Alright, Wood. Can Wood go?
Next
that's what it
is these suspicious characters' turns. So the one that needs to make a saving throw is going to do it. What's your DC? If you look on your spell page, which is that one in the top right, what does it say on the spell save DC?
13.
13. Okay. Okay, this person does not make it, so roll another d6 for me.
3.
So they take a further 3 damage.
How much damage have you done to him?
That was 13 in total, I think. Cool. So then the other guy that isn't on fire yet is going to strike past his friend and try to get to you. What's your armor class?
I think it's normally 18.
Okay, cool. In this case, it just clinks off of your armor harmlessly, and he sort of like hisses at you. And then the third guy is going to try and attack you as well. So you're the only one that's sort of intervening, really. But that one does hit, and it's going to do 4 damage to you.
Okay.
And then the one that's on fire is also going to attack. And that one hits for another 4. So that's 8 in total. And then
Jesus.
they're all sort of crowding around you trying to get to the old man. And for the old man's turn, just before Wood, he's going to take 30 feet of steps back and sort of like hold his hands up like this. Then Wood is going... What would you like Wood to do?
Do something useful, I guess.
Yeah, what's he got?
Where is he? He's not. Where's he gone?
Put his away.
That's okay. I know most of the stuff that he would do. He could hit with his staff. He could cast some entangling vines, perhaps.
Get him in there and smack him with the
Yeah,
staff.
get him
Okay,
with the staff.
he's gonna.
Yeah,
Sorry?
stand next to me and get him in with the staff.
Okay, staff getting.
Yeah.
It's gonna be he misses, and he sort of clangs against their sort of leather armor, so it's more like a sound. And then he says, the wood in this staff, if only you could help me. And he sort of stands there looking quite upset. Next is Groundfall.
Okay, so these guys are little merkers, so I'm gonna...
Merkers? What's a merker?
I'm trying to murk
They're
us.
just bastards.
Oh.
Right, I'm gonna spend 2 sorcery points to cast a quicken spell.
What does that do?
It means I cast a spell as a bonus action.
Nice.
And then I'm gonna cast magic missile.
Oh, cool. So that's 3d4, each one plus 1? Is that how it works?
Correct. Yeah, and I'm just gonna. That's 2 and 2. That's not very good. And 4 is 8.
So who do you assign them to?
The guy that isn't on fire.
So there's 2 that aren't on fire.
Yeah, one of them.
And 8 damage in total?
Yes, please.
Okay, cool. You see the 3 bolts go into this guy's chest, and he seems to like almost drop his sword from the impact. But he's still standing.
Yeah.
And would you like to move, or say we are sort of a little bit away from the fray currently?
So, because that was a
30
bonus,
feet
that was a
away.
bonus action, so
Yeah.
I still have a main action.
You do.
So I'm going to cast magic missile again.
Nice. Same guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to total this guy. 5, 7, 10. Another 10 damage.
You see another 3 bolts sort of hit him in more vital areas, and he starts to look a little like bloodied and bruised, and he starts to like struggle to focus his eyes a little bit. Yeah, he looks in a bad way, but not quite on death's door yet.
Okay, I'm happy where I am.
Cool. Next up is me.
Okay. I'm gonna attack the one that isn't yet.
Okay. The fresh one. Go
Yeah.
for it.
No, polish one off, surely.
Okay. Fine. Let's
Yeah.
polish off the one that's burning.
Oh, you're gonna try and kill the burning one. Go for it.
Yeah. I'm just gonna d6 this time, am I? Or
No, to hit you roll the d20 first, and then we deal with damage if you hit.
15.
Plus your 3 is
Plus-
18. That
yeah,
hits.
18.
So roll your d8.
1.
And I think you add your strength to that. What's his strength? 1. That's 2 in total. You do 2 damage to Flame Man, and he seems a little like confused. And he's like, oh, because he was so damaged from before. Would you like to do anything else?
Bonus. So that's what I got. What is Shield of Faith?
That is a thing you can cast either on other people or yourself that enhances someone's armor class, so they're harder to hit. I think.
Sure, let's enhance my armor class.
Okay.
Why not?
Let me just double check it, just so I can read. Shield.
I'm going to save as a 10 bit. He's going to be pleased with that.
Okay, so you get a +2 to your AC for
That's pretty good.
10 minutes.
Cool.
But you're also concentrating on it, so if you get hit, there's a chance you might lose your concentration.
Okay.
Cool. And you're going to stay where you are?
Yeah.
Cool, alright. Next up, the flame guy is going to do he has to roll a check for constitution, doesn't he? And your thing is 13. Okay, he fails. Roll another d6.
3.
3, okay. So he looks about the same level of screwed up as the guy that just got hit with all the magic missiles. Okay, so he's going to try to run past you to the old man because he seems to be taking a lot of punishment from you. So that means you get an attack of opportunity on him as he runs past you.
Oh.
So you just get to roll a regular hit.
So on the 20 again.
That's really nice.
18.
You see that hits. Now roll a d8 and add 1.
Yes. 21. D8 and what?
Mhm.
5.
5, okay.
Pretty well behaved. You haven't had any attacks of opportunity.
He makes it past you after taking a sword in the ribs and gets up to the old man, and he's going to try and hit the old man.
Shit.
And he hits
How far away is the old man?
about 30 feet.
Okay.
And he hits for 8 damage.
Oh no. We need our healer.
Okay, cool. Then the other assassin is going to run past you, and so you get to attack of opportunity him as well.
Take him down.
12. Plus 3, 15.
That just hits. So roll the d8, and then add 1.
4.
4.
We should have got Wood to cast Entangle, I guess.
Okay, cool. So he gets past you and goes up to hit the old man again. Well, sorry. Yeah, that hits for... actually, no, that's cocked. For 5 damage this time.
Jesus!
Okay, cool. So then the third assassin is going to try and hit Maeve because he's not that damaged yet, so he doesn't think Maeve's all that special. Okay, cool. But he rolls a 3 and just swooshes his sword right over your head and misses embarrassingly, and then he stands there growling. Next up
This is Wood, right?
no, the old man, then Wood.
Okay.
So the old man is going to try to cast shield on himself,
Yay.
which increases his AC. Cool. And you see this sort of grey barrier appear around him. Next up is Wood. What would Wood like to do?
Something useful once in his life.
Does he have any
Protect
missile
the old man.
He can cast Entangle, or he could cast a bunch of other druid spells. What else would he have? He has Firebolt, which is like a projectile that shoots fire.
Yeah.
You won't hurt the old dude though.
No, it's a very individual type
Let's
spell.
fire that other one that's not already on fire.
Okay,
Max
cool.
damage.
Let's fire
No, we
the
need to
guy.
polish them off so they don't kill our
Yeah, but as
dude.
in like the one who's injured but not on fire.
Kill the most
We've already
weakest,
got
yeah.
one that's on
Kill-
fire.
kill the
and
weakest.
hopefully they'll burn to death.
Okay, whichever one is the weakest looking?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's roll.
We can't have our guys at Tembe take any more
Okay,
hits.
so Wood releases a flame from his hand and it hits the guy that isn't on fire in the head, and
Yes.
I believe that does I think it's a d6 plus his wisdom, which is quite high, so that means okay. Oh, rolls a 1, so this guy takes 4 damage, and he looks like he's on death's door, but he's not dead yet. And then Wood stands there menacingly. Next up is Scroungeful.
Okay. Well, I guess just better cast Magic Missile again. No,
You're reliable.
we're just
Character.
so reliable. Can I see if it kills the guy with the bolts before I redirect them?
Yeah.
By one. Okay, right. I cast Magic Missile at the guy who's nearly dead.
You nearly dead? Okay, go for it.
Right, there's. Oh, it's half. 2 damage.
2? Yeah, he's still alive.
God damn. Another 2 damage.
He falls to the ground.
Ah! Right.
And he says, "Oh, thank goodness." You hear the old man dimly through his little grey shield say, thank you for saving me. Quick, watch out that they don't get you." And what was the third bolt do?
Another 2 damage to the other guy attacking the old dude,
Okay.
who I guess is on fire.
Yeah, he looks closer to death than before.
And then,
does he do anything else?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Cool. And next up is Maeve.
How many hit points?
Maybe protect the old dude.
Wood. Yeah, but then if I'm leaving Wood exposed, aren't I? The old dude at least has a shield.
Well, I'm going to say, because I don't know his exact hit points. How many hit points do you have?
I have 25, but I'm down to 17.
What's your constitution? Plus 1. You have 25. I'll say that Wood has 20 hit points.
Well, let's hope the old dude survives. Go on, just polish off the guy attacking you.
Okay, I'm going to go for the
Give him a mighty
one right in
smite.
front of me. He's healthy.
The healthy looking one.
Yeah.
Okay, roll to attack.
And I'll get the fire damage on this as well.
Are you going to do a searing smite? Did you mark off a spell slot for the previous one? I think it's under spells. There's tiny little like zeros. Just like no, sorry. These are the spell slots. Those 3
Okay.
there. So you just fill one in. And if you can use another one, you just fill another one in.
Okay.
Cool. Alright, so roll to see if you hit.
1.
Natural one.
Okay, roll the d20 again, see what happens.
12.
Ooh, okay. You sort of overswing, and in the process, you twist your body around, do a little pirouette, and then knock Wood over onto the ground. So you're both,
Oh, you really fucked it.
you're both prone on the ground. So you're going to use
no.
half of your movement to get up if you choose to get up.
Yeah, let's get up.
Okay, so you both get up. Now you have 15 feet of movement, and you look a little silly. So the pirouette was great.
Go stand next to the old guy. Presumably, with the nearest guy getting attack of opportunity if she's on the floor prone.
Say that again.
Can she disengage because she's now on the floor prone?
It takes your action to disengage. You mean you want her to
mean-
disengage from the bad guy?
I mean, the pirouetting falling on the floor was an act of disengagement.
Well, no, because she's still within the combat range of this person. It's only if you leave their reach. Yeah.
No, I'm going to say squaring up to this one.
Okay, you're gonna say that. Next up is these guys.
Shit.
One of them is gonna try and. Oh, we have to see if he
Fire damage.
is on fire or not. Oh, he saves this time and he pats it out, and there's no more fire. And so he's gonna try and hit through the shield of the old man, which he doesn't. Clangs against the shield.
Hooray!
The other one is going to try and hit
Hooray.
the old man too.
No, but he's near me in wood, isn't he?
No, there's. Oh yeah, the other one's dead, isn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So then let's do the one near you.
Who's he attacking?
You.
Okay. Oh,
Um,
Wood's hanging around there as well, so.
yeah, that's true, but Wood hasn't been nearly as effective.
Fine. I'm
Um,
just checking, because if you attack someone else, then I can also do my protection thing.
oh,
Rocket.
that is cool. This is a 18 to hit you. Does that hit you?
No, because my shield strength is now 20.
Nice. Okay, so it just clangs off of your armor, and he sort of starts to go, "Get out of here! This isn't your business!" And he seems to look a little bit more desperate. So that's the end of their turn. Then the old man is going to sort of like crouch down a little bit longer and say, he seems to be like muttering to himself and making some like religious gestures like this. And that's all he's doing with his turn. Wood would like to get up. Now he has 15 feet of movement. Now he's going to cast Entangle, because why not? And this person is going to have to make a Constitution save, let's say. And I think his DC is like 14. Okay, so this guy saves. So the vines go up and try to grab hold of him, but the guy escapes. But the vines are still there, so the terrain is still difficult, and it might be able to impede him later on. Next up is Scroungemore.
So the guy attacking our guys at Tembe, he's near dead.
The guy attacking that guy
Yeah.
looks, yeah, pretty close.
Okay, I'll. I hate missing, so I'm going to use Tides of Chaos to gain advantage.
Ooh, what's that do again?
Once per long rest, gain advantage on one attack roll, ability check or saving throw. Before you regain use of the feature, the DM can have you roll on the Wild Magic Surge table, which you did
Nice.
tell me to tell you about before.
Nice.
For some
Okay,
reason. I
but
can't remember why.
before you regain use of it, have you used it before ever?
No. The
Okay.
DM can have you roll on a Wild Magic Surge after you cast a first level or higher spell. You then regain use of the feature.
Okay.
So I think it's now I've used it.
the next thing you do
When
after that.
if I cast a first level spell, I'm going to cast a cantrip for now
Okay,
because
cool.
I
go
don't
for it.
have any spells left.
Yep.
Right, we'll cast Ray of Frost with +5 to hit.
Nice.
12 and advantage, so again, and 13.
13. You again go a little bit higher over his shoulder, and just like the columns around him are starting to frost over as your miss spot seems really consistent.
Should
Okay,
just cast magic missile. Alright, I'm good. I'm done.
cool. Next up is Maeve.
Okay, I'm just attacking this guy again.
Mm-hmm.
12.
12 does not hit, so it clanks off of his armor. He's got like one piece of metal on his arm, and the rest of it is leather. Would you like to do anything else?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, cool.
Lovely.
The assassin person standing next to you is going to try and hit you with a snarl, and he misses again, clinking off your shield. And then the person that's attacking the old man is going to try and attack the old man, but he misses horribly and sort of staggers to one knee as the shield sort of rebuffs him. And he says, in some other language you don't recognize, and then the guy next to you says, and you don't know really what happened. Do any of you guys speak Abyssal?
I think that's to me, so no.
Okay, cool.
Not me.
You do dwarf or something. I
No.
thought celestial.
What? Where's this?
It's on the front
Oh,
page.
it's in like bottom left,
It'll
maybe?
say
No? Bottom right?
that you just got common and halfling.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, then
Yeah.
next up is the old man. The old man's just going to kind of stand there and take out a sort of like panpipes and go. He plays this little tune and he directs it at you, and you now have inspiration.
It's a bard!
Oh,
So you can use a d6 to add to an attack roll or an ability check for the next like 10 minutes or something.
amazing.
Oh, so good. Holy shit, that's great.
Cool. So then the next person is Wood. Wood is going to try to entangle them again, and this person is going to try and get out.
Has Wood ever held
Useless
battle?
Wood.
I think not.
Oh, this guy escapes again and just sort of looks meanly at Wood.
Oh my god.
Next
I literally don't think Wood has ever helped us out.
Next up is Scoundrel.
He's just
Yeah,
fucking
look,
useless.
feel this. Feel under the table. That's kind of weird.
So nice in the heater.
It's really warm. Where's this heater?
Isn't it under the table?
Table, I presume.
There's a heater under the table! What the bloody fuck?
Yeah, that's
What do you think was happening? The table was just like burning.
the power of
it
our drama.
was a mystery. I was like, why is it so warm under the table? But now you've answered me. Is it me again?
Yes.
Right. I'll just try and cast Ray of Frost at that stupid bastard again.
Okay. Just for fun, even though it's a cantrip, let's say you've done 2 cantrips. So roll these 2 for me, just because it's Wild Magic Surge is really fun. So roll this, and where's your other one? You should have 2 that look like this. Oh, this thing. So roll these 2 for me. And tell me what it says.
It says 600. Or zero, it says 00 and it says 6.
Cool.
Which will be one there.
Ooh, wow, I don't even realise what this... They've referenced something I don't understand.
Too wild.
That's how wild it is.
What have you unleashed?
Almost there. Give me a second. Holy moly. What on earth is this? Alright. A sort of minotaur appears 10 feet away from you.
What?
As the energy comes spilling out of you as you cast Ray of Frost. And it's just sort of standing there, and it seems like it's a minotaur, but it's made out of like clay. And it's just sort of standing there, robust. And it seems to be like just standing there passively. You don't really know what it's doing or if you can interact with it. And your Ray of Frost needs to be rolled.
14.
14. That still misses. Goes in the
Tough-
same
tough
spot.
stuff.
And then you notice that the stonework where you keep missing just splits and crashes to the ground because all the ice has sort of expanded into the
Holy
mortar
shit.
and like broken a piece off of the wall.
Wow.
And then you see the old man say, "Don't worry about that, just focus."
I love it.
Is there anything else you would like to do?
What's this clay minotaur doing? Is it still
He's
there?
just standing there. You don't. He seems to have appeared near you, sort of facing you, but just blank, sort of rigid, holding a big.
So basically, like between me and the
javelin.
dudes,
Well, no, he's sort of by your side, as it were.
but facing me. Okay, I'd like to move and hide behind it.
Okay. You move and hide behind it. You have half cover, which
Yes.
means that you add, I'll say,
No
4
one's,
to your AC.
great. No one's attacking me anyway.
Yeah, cool. Next up is Maeve. Maeve, what would you like to do?
May probably just takes the swing at the dude.
Okay, let's see what happens with that.
Just a normal swing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's go for it. Right, she gets a 6. plus whatever her to hit is.
That's 3. So 9?
9.
Okay.
Right, you're taking a swing.
She misses completely, just over their shoulder. Would you like to do anything else?
Very well. Didn't know how long you'd be.
I'm back. I don't really have.
Go on. Nah, skip it.
I don't think so.
Okay, you're going to stay where you are. Next up is this guy. He's going to try and hit the old man, and he rolls a 1, which means that he sort of looks a bit downcast and starts to like look around for the exits, and then he gestures to his friend like this, and then his friend will try to hit Scroungemore.
What?
Because he's concerned by this giant minotaur, but he rolls a 1, and this time you hear actually no, you don't need to. You hear a and you smell that he might have shit himself. Cool. Next up is that was both bad guys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Next up is the old man. The old man just sort of goes and covers his nose because he's a little bit upset by what just happened. I'm not joking, it's written here on the natural 1 table. The strain of your body trying to attempt this check suddenly gives way and you shit yourself. Next up is Wood. Wood's going to take a bunch of steps back and try, I think he has a bow, so he's going to try and hit the bow.
Can we try and knock these guys out?
Which he fails to do. And
He's bloody useless, isn't he?
next up is Scroungemore.
Yeah, can we try and knock these guys out instead of killing them? Is that fair?
You can use non-lethal damage, which basically means you've still got to get them to 0 hit points, but you just say you do it non-lethally.
Do I have a way of doing that? I mean, I was just sending my weapons.
You want to do this to interrogate?
Well, I just want to know what's going on.
Yeah, you can totally do non-lethal damage
Like
and just
with
subdue them.
With a lightning.
You can do it with anything, with anything theoretically.
I lightning them into unconsciousness.
You definitely could.
Okay. So the one near... Oh, I don't want to touch the one who's shot himself. Can I like get to the other one?
Yeah, it's only like 30 feet away.
And without going near the shitty guy.
Yeah, you can take a wide berth. Yeah.
Okay, I take a wide berth of the shitting self guy, and I run up to the other one, and then I grab hold of his leg and cast Shocking Grasp.
Okay. What does he need to do, or what do you need to do?
I just need to roll to hit.
Okay, cool.
+5.
Sweet.
20!
Natural 20, so it's double. Okay, so what's the damage? Does it say D6?
1d8.
Okay, so D8.
And I want it to be non-lethal, so it's 5.
Okay, 5.
So 5 times 2?
This is the guy over near the old man, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
he
that's 10
collapses on the ground and just starts twitching from all the electricity going through his muscles. And would you like to do anything else? That's all your movement, that's your action.
I think...
Time up.
Oh, that's all my movement and action.
Yeah, but you can do a bonus action, you can speak, you can interact with an object.
Okay.
Do we have any rope?
I'll
Can
shout...
time up.
Well, yeah, I do have rope. I could time up.
You could get your rope out and start preparing your knots, I would say.
I think I'll shout at the shitting himself guy, and I'd say, "You've embarrassed yourself. Lie down on the floor, or you'll end up lightning to unconsciousness like your friend."
Okay, cool. Make a intimidation check, I'll say.
8.
11.
Okay, he doesn't respond. Next up is Maeve.
Yeah, I'm going to try and thwack him with a great sword again.
Okay, whack away. This person I don't think has been hit once.
This one you can kill this guy.
Oh,
The shitty guy.
Now. 9.
Maybe it'll be okay if he runs away. I mean, I'm sick of this
9.
guy.
Okay, he parries his sword and starts to look around furtively. Do you do anything else?
Can I try and intimidate him?
You can. How do you do so? Well, you can attempt to. You can certainly try.
I'll give it a go.
By doing what? Just like growling at him?
Yeah, just, I don't know.
Tell him to surrender.
Shouting
Tell him there's no chance.
and
Okay.
waving my great sword in his face.
You shouted him to surrender.
20.
20 in total. Right? Okay, he looks at you and he definitely looks afraid, but he doesn't respond. he just sort of starts to like lean away from
He
you.
doesn't speak. He does speak.
Anything else you would like to? Oh no, that's everything,
it,
right?
that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, this guy runs away, so you can take an attack of opportunity, I think, because you're nearby him, right?
We're not going to kill him. So.
8.
No.
Hey, you missed, and he just scarpers out of the temple. Does anyone around see him? Let's see.
Well, and he shit himself, so presumably
It
he's quite.
smells.
They do. A bunch of acolytes see him, but they don't intervene. You get the sense that there's a very passive order. Cool. So that's the end. You're out of combat, and then the old man, takes his shield down and says, "Oh, thank you. Oh, I've had a tough few weeks. Who are you? Who have come to my aid?"
We are Scroungemore, my manservant Wood, and this is Maeve. We're adventuring nobility and we're problem solvers. Also, we love knowledge.
And truth.
Yes, we are seekers after truth.
I see. I hope that you're not like these previous people who wanted to seek my counsel. The ones that you just dispatched so handily.
We thought
we're
you
nothing
should
like
seek
that.
our counsel. Yudan told us you were in dire need and we came to your aid.
Oh, Yudan. She has been troubled. How was she?
Troubled.
That worries me. Come, sit down. And he leads you further into the temple to this like dark entranceway.
Okay.
And then he sits down and he says, "My order is in a difficult time. Truth is not as well valued as it used to be." And he points at the various, like, you're still in the sort of public section of the temple, and there's various like collection bowls, and none of them seem particularly well filled. And he says, "I haven't been able to buy the ingredients I need to appease the guides and receive their guidance. I am, despite these robes, just a man at this point. And these people, these assassins, I assume, who wears red, like, coverings over their mouth like that? It's just so suspicious. They seem to be gathering on the corpse of my order, trying to exploit my abilities. Little do they know I can't afford to seek the guide's help."
Couldn't you use their money to buy ingredients? Why did you refuse them and what did they want?
The order is honest. I can't use money received dishonestly, and I think we can agree they were unsavory characters.
What did they want from you?
They wanted me to consult the guides to help them find Artus Simba.
And what is that?
He's a person they're looking for. They didn't tell me why, but apparently they need to track him down, and he's reportedly in the jungles around this city. They don't know where, though, and they wanted me to seek the guides to aid them in that search. But despite my inability to contact the guides, I can tell I'm still guided in what and who is a dishonest person.
You can sense that what they wanted for Artus was evil.
Yes, especially when they kept coming back, even after I said that I'm not in a position to help them.
Look, September, as we said, we're fellow seekers after truth. Money shouldn't stand in your way. How much money do you need for the ingredients?
Ooh, honest money, 25 gold?
We made 150 this morning, so
Don't say that.
I'm saying that privately. I'm whispering it.
How much gold do you have? I whisper to Ave, how much gold do you have?
Well, you've got most of the gold, I think.
No, I don't. I nudge Maeve in the sort of upper thigh, which is where my elbow rests, and I say, give him 25 gold.
No, you've got all the gold. Give me your gold.
You guys whisper to each other and says, "Are you quite alright? I can't hear what you're saying."
I don't even know where my... How do I know where my gold is?
Oh, it's there, yeah. What, you haven't been writing it? What's the
Oh, I've got 60. So given you've got like 300, why don't you give me some of your gold? Yes?
What? How can I help you,
Scroungemore has
people?
25 gold that he can give to you.
Oh, that's very generous. I mean,
Yes, as a seeker after truth, I insist you take these 25 gold pieces. I offered him the gold.
He says, Please, it's not for me, it's for the church. Please put it in the donation bowl. Ka-clang, ka-clang, ka-clang. He says,
Put it in the bowl.
okay, I mean, I am very appreciative that you came to my aid. I will consult the guides and hopefully my streak of ill luck will end and I'll be able to help you.
We hope so too.
I won't rest until I have reached them. And then he goes over to like a nearby hook and he takes off an even larger robe than the one he's wearing. He puts it over himself and he says, come with me. And he leads you into like a side room that just has a fire pit in the middle. And then he says, close the door. And you guys come and he gestures for you to sit. And it's this dark room that feels kind of smoky and it sounds almost perfectly silent. And then you see him like light the fire in the middle and says, okay, I must concentrate, please. Don't react to anything you see. And he starts to like hum a little bit to himself. And he throws some dirt into the fire, but the sparks are green instead of what you would expect from a fire. And you see a vision made out of flames above it of a bridge, sort of like a smile, and then a like scarab beetle. And he says, oh, the guides have never come to me so quickly before. Okay. I see a jungle city far to the south, enclosed by cliffs, crawling with snakes, serpents, and a black obelisk draped in vines. And then his face kind of looks a bit contorted, like almost in pain. Ooh, I dare not peer any deeper. I mean, it's dangerous, but I feel the guides are telling me you must seek out this city and the obelisk. And then the fire dims and he sort of looks like a bit blank and a bit glassy-eyed. And he says, whew, what journey are you on that you received such hasty guidance from the guides? They're usually very reluctant to speak, especially to me.
A journey of great importance. Of great
We really
confusion.
wish to serve and to do what's right. We were hoping to help this city deal with its affliction.
Oh,
Do you think they're connected?
yes, I do. I do think they're connected. I can't put my finger on it. It's just a feeling. And that's where we'll end our session.